Hello, everyone. The subject I want to address is the practice of Cheon Shim, Heavenly Heart. It is a great subject. We are the Family Federation, a movement that originated in Korea, and like every movement or religion, we have our own vocabulary and terminology. It is necessary to understand all of this. Very often in our federation, we speak of our founders as the true parents. It is an honorary title because we see them as role models. We speak of Sun Myung Moon as true father and Hak Ja Han, her spouse, as true mother. My message today is to better understand precisely the essence of spirituality within the Family Federation as expressed in the concept of Cheon Shim, the Heavenly Heart. What is Cheon Shim and why is it so important today? I was very inspired by all the prayer vigils initiated by our true mother about 4 years ago, which are now broadcast internationally. This doesn't just happen at our Cheon Shim Won sanctuary in Korea, but we are encouraged to do it at the personal and family levels. This heart of heaven, Cheon Shim, is the key to unification and harmonization. It is an ideal, but it is also concrete. In everyday practice, it has implications. It is not a vague or merely poetic idea to talk about the heavenly heart. It is very concrete. To give a more precise definition, Cheon Shim is the original, pure, vast state of mind that is aligned with the will of the Heavenly Parent. It is the soul without selfishness. There is a Korean proverb that expresses this well. Min Shimai Kien Shimaida, which means the will of the people is the will of heaven. In other words, the human heart is linked to the heart of heaven, and the practice of Cheon Shim is precisely to try to align the individual with this will. This practice developed at the center of our training, at the Cheonbo Training Center in Gapyeong, where the Cheon Shim Won is located. Cheon Shim Won means the house of the heavenly heart. It is the main consecrated prayer hall established by the founders near the Cheonjonggun Palace. The theological foundation of Cheonshim Practice is based on the heart of God. It begins with understanding the heart of Creator. The word Cheon Shim is made of 2 Chinese characters, Cheon sky on the left, which represents strength, and Shim heart on the right. In the Oriental mind, we see the notion of yin and yang. The first character is solid with strong traits, while the second is rounder, softer, and more harmonious. Cheon Shim is a mixture of these, reflecting the Heavenly Parent who is both a fatherly and motherly heart. Cheon Shim is also a state of fullness. It is the original state of mind, free from impurity, dirt, and worry. But above all, it is the soul that listens to the voice of heaven. In our daily lives, we listen to the voice of the world, the hubbub of our work, daily worries, family tensions, and the constant solicitation of mobile phones and social networks. To hear the voice of heaven deep within ourselves, we must leave the voice of the world aside. It is a state of active fullness, not just contemplation or adoration, but profound transformation within us. At the bottom of this heavenly heart, deeper still, lies Shim Jon. This is a term developed by our founders. While in Korean culture it can mean simply feeling, true parents gave it a much deeper meaning. Shim Jon is a fundamental, irrepressible impulse of God's love. God created the universe through this Shim Jon to exchange reciprocal love with humanity. However, this Shim Jon is also the source of his suffering, called Han in Korean. Because of the tragedy of the fall, when humanity broke its relationship with the Heavenly Parent, God's Shim Jon was broken. This accumulated grief throughout the providence of restoration is the Han of God. History, particularly religious history, is God's effort to resolve this Han and restore a perfect love relationship with human beings. Human life has also been a story of conflict and suffering, accumulating a massive historical Han in the spiritual world. In return, human beings have sought their heavenly parent, leading to the development of Hyojong, the filial heart or piety of the heart. This is not merely a duty, as in Confucianism, but spontaneous love motivated by emotion and gratitude. We live in an environment marked by a history distorted by the fall, separated from the heavenly parent. To know real life, we need to find Cheon Shim. The practice of Cheon Shim is a process to demonstrate and develop Hyojong, this attitude of selfless love for the Heavenly Parent. This sincerity is what we call Jongsong. The practice of Cheon Shim is a life of Jongsong, of self-giving, trying to restore the broken relationship with heaven. The principal place for this restoration is the Cheon Shim Won. True Mother has expanded the Cheon Shim Won internationally, establishing one in each country and inviting every family to establish a prayer room in their home. It is a center of prayer where ancestors are liberated and where we purify our own hearts. Cheon Shim is not an isolated meditation, but a way of life. It must spread from the individual to the family, to our social life, our work, and then to the whole world. It starts deep within oneself, with a determination to lead a true, good, and beautiful life. The creation of Cheon Shim has a cosmic implication. It allows the restoration of the ideal world, the kingdom of heaven on earth, which we call Cheon Il Guk. The basic model for this is Shin Tungil Hanguk, the heavenly unified Korea. Korea is seen as the third Israel and the homeland of God. The unification of Korea is the first concrete step toward this goal. Our founders invested their entire lives, meeting figures like Gorbachev and Kim Il-sung, to expand the realm of peace and fight against communism and atheism. Today, the opposing forces are making incredible efforts to destroy the family federation in Japan and Korea. It is a spiritual battle between good and evil that is at its peak. We must not lose course. We need to anchor ourselves in this Cheonshim practice and remain united with our founders. I will end on a high note. Our true mother said, "Without deep prayer and a connection with heaven, we cannot build Cheon Il Guk, the kingdom." For years ago, she had the foresight to launch these prayers vigils because she saw the difficult final turn of the battle. Cheon Shim Won is a place where dreams come true, where heaven and our dreams meet. Let us all become people of prayer, heart, and absolute faith, as stated in the Family Pledge number 8. Our family, the owner of Cheon Il Guk, pledges, having entered the era of Cheon Il Guk, to achieve the ideal unity and love between God, Cheon Shim, and human beings, Hyo Jan, through absolute faith, love, and obedience, Jong Song, in order to fully liberate heaven and earth and establish the kingdom of God.